I'm not sure what happened, but your sound went away, Larry. Hey, everybody, hello, and welcome back to Massively Overpowered Television, where Larry is going to try for the third night to convince me about the awesomeness of mods, while he has a big strike against that, which we'll also be discussing today. So yes,
Yeah.
Conan Exiles, Larry and I together. It's going to be fun, right?
Yeah. Should I talk about the strike against me first before we get into, how awesome Pippi is? Um
Yes. Well, let's first. I'll give people a link, because yeah, I was gonna go. It was gonna be all about the love of Pippi,
yeah.
but nope. No can do.
Did
No can
did
do. Is it started?
I have not been on the site. Oh, hold on. I'm hearing myself.
Okay, I'm not. So that's
There we
good.
go. No, it was me. It was me. I had because I had two things running. I went over to Massively OP. has I'm assuming that Massively has not reported on this because it is not like a huge story. It's more of a community kind of story.
Well, it's something you
Yeah.
can always, you're
Well,
gonna want
I
our
just
mods to
I have
know.
been I've been super busy all day personally, so I haven't been able to even really mention it. But so the story is that fun yesterday. I want to say yesterday morning, sometime. Uh, I guess it would have been in like the middle of the afternoon in Europe, where Tot is. Um, the Tot who makes the makes many of the actually all of the mods that we've featured so far have been created by Tot, a modder named Tot. And yesterday morning, Tot found out that his Tot custom mod, the one that uh, allows you to really customize your character, was banned. And he didn't know why. He didn't get any kind of notice or anything along that line, according to him. And then he says he sent a message off to Steam, and Steam says that Steam didn't get back to him immediately, obviously, because corporate America. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is why they didn't get it back to him any faster. But they didn't get back to him for a while. Hours later, he didn't actually see it until almost the next day. Uh, and I guess it would have been his next day. He did not see it until his next day because he's in France. So, and Funcom said that. I'm sorry, not Funcom said. Steam said that Funcom was the one who asked for it to be banned. Um, and all day long, he has been in trying to get in contact with Funcom, and they have yet to reply. There is a thread on Funcom's website. I'm wondering if I had it up. I could post it. I don't have it up right now. I did have it up. Maybe I closed it. I don't know why I closed it down. Anyway, um, there's it's like almost 200 people have posted on it, uh, on this thread already. It's only been up for, and by the way, Tot did not make this thread, and Tot has also not replied to this thread that I'm aware of. I haven't seen his account on there. Um,
I mean, yeah, you can get yourself like speaking out can put you in a more disadvantageous position,
yeah,
which
yeah,
we
it can.
know because like back when Massively of Old was being shut down, we had to keep our mouths zipped tight to not put ourselves in a bad situation. So I can see
Yeah,
how they Tot is not responding and getting into things while trying to work out what happened. But
Right, right. But another community member went on Funcom's site, and to be honest, most of the posts on there are really, um, I guess, kind. They're upset. Clearly, they are upset, but they are not not mean to Funcom at all. They're saying, hey, we like use this mod all the time. This is like seriously ruining our game. We can't play. We do not want to play anymore because this mod is gone. And there's about 200 people who have said that, let alone, and the uh, I don't know, 1,500 or so people that have viewed that thread and in some capacity or another, and or not viewed, but rather like liked the posts and that kind of thing. So and Funcom has yet to reply to that thread at all.
I have to
Uh,
wonder what on earth transpired for this to
I'm
happen. But this is why I don't like mods.
Yeah, well, I do have a speculation, and it's only because Tot has not. I don't want to say run into trouble before because that's not exactly it, but run into complications before because of it. Um, when Tot Custom first came out, it it pulled everything from every database or data table. If you know, like all the data tables tell you basically it's just a link to all the meshes and all the textures and stuff like that. The data tables kind of link that all together, and his mod pulled from every data table initially. And what ended up happening is that by using his mod, you were able to use like downloadable content, at least appear that you had downloadable content on your person without actually having bought that downloadable content.
Mm.
So, but that's what it was originally. That I mean, that's been a long time ago. I'm talking,
And that got fixed up, right?
and that got fixed. And so, but what I'm wondering is if Funcom is now getting word of this, a year late, which would make sense being Funcom, um, and just now responding to it.
But if
Bec-
they haven't looked into it, like,
I just
I mean,
I
that would be
think
neat, and maybe it was just someone, didn't notice that something says 2021 or 2 instead of 2023, right? And maybe it'll get resolved. But until then,
maybe
that mod is banned. I mean,
that mod. Well, I mean, technically, and he's avoiding doing all this. Right, Tot is avoiding doing this right now, but there are other ways to get it done. Uh, Steam is the easiest way to do it, but the mod is still now. The mod is still on this test server that I'm doing right now. It is like literally sitting there still,
mm-hmm.
but it's just not activated. Like I don't have it on my mod list for the server, so whenever you go onto the server, you don't see it anymore. Uh, but I could put it on there. I can still do it. I could, if I want to, put it on there and make it so that people can have access to it. I just be at the wishes of Tot because he wants everything to be on the up and up. He has not gone and you know said no, go get it from Nexus Mods now or something along that line. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's basically said, okay, just avoid you know uh, avoid using it, avoid trying to downloading it from some other place. If you already have it, obviously you can still use it. So there are servers that are still running that run Tot Custom, but what they're doing, it's already on the server, and they are telling their server members how to, if they already have it, how to use it. Now, if they don't have it already, there's not a way to download it. So brand new players would not be able to download it. It's what was it that used to be like what TikTok used to be? You used to when TikTok was banned for a while. If you had TikTok, you're good. If you didn't, then well, too bad. But yeah, it's kind of like that kind of thing. So I could, and since we both have it on our computer, I could turn it back on, and but it would just be it's a little bit more work to get it done, and I'm that's not what I want to show at this point. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll show how stuff like that is done, but as of right now, that's not what I
All
want
right.
to show.
Hikari asked, "Did they get vac banned?" No. See, Tot's other mods are all still there,
Yeah, yeah. All of Tot's other mods, the only one that isn't is Tot Custom.
which makes it all the
So
yeah.
yeah, so this was specifically that mod for some reason or another, and hopefully, I'm really hoping that it's some kind of misunderstanding, or maybe Tot made a uh, some kind of coding error that flagged it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think Tot in any fashion uh, is is purposefully like breaking some kind of rule. I don't think that it's anywhere intentional. And he has, like I said, he's already changed it so that the DLC does not. Well, the DLC appears, but you can't use it. Like you can see it, you can see that it's there and it says DLC next to it, but you can't use it unless you own that DLC. So that's already been fixed. So I literally don't know. The only other possibility that I can think of off the top of my head, and again, I'm not like I don't know all the ins and outs of everything, and Todd has basically said that I'm talking to Funcom, but he hasn't, or not. He said I've reached out to Funcom, but he hasn't got any reply back. So anything at this point is going to be speculation. I mean, and but the only other thing I can think of is that maybe somebody reported him for some reason or another out of spite or something along that line. Because I'll be fair, and Tot even admits this. Tot is not the most friendly person. He is a coder, not a community manager.
He's like,
So,
I was not born with a congenial personality. I do not work in a
yeah,
field that needs a congenial personality. Deal with it. Numbers are my friends. I
yeah,
I
yeah.
I have
That's
no
kind of the way
idea
it
about
is.
this person. That's just a generalized.
But I mean, that's pretty close. I mean, I've had some my own interpersonal issues with Tot as well, just because he's pretty abrasive when it comes to answering questions. But un he's not unkind, if you know what I mean. He's just abrasive sometimes. He doesn't. Uh, he's got a very much a coder's personality and not a community manager personality. So that's perfectly fine. Um, he does a really good job. Anyway, that's that drama, and unfortunately, that is a strike against, and that is an honest strike against running mods on your server. However, I will counter
Especially
that.
that big of one, because I
I
mean that was a huge thing, and you're trying to meld it all together so that we can build into this big fantasy, thing. And now it's like, oh well,
yeah
okay, all that stuff. Sorry, folks. Sorry you spent all that time getting to know it, getting used
yeah.
to it, setting things up. Now just yoink it. It just
Now,
this is
now to be fair though, that is not unlike some of the other things that Funcom has done in the past, and I don't mean to mods. I mean to the game itself.
no. I mean, you expect it to happen with the game. I mean,
It's just
I expect devs to do it, but
yeah, yeah. Devs are gonna. Well, that's the thing, and devs will add and remove features at will, and not necessarily in their best interest. And so, um, unfortunately, that's just that is not. I don't think you can say that this specific kind of instance is um, exclusive to mods.
no,
This,
but
yeah,
but it's adding another layer of problem that I wouldn't have had if I didn't have that. So
I mean, I guess.
I
I mean,
know that's
there's
just
I
it's
mean,
another
with
one.
the
At least it's not breaking like you said, if it's already
yeah,
on right now versus the it's been ripped out, your game can't work until you all reset all your servers and start out, kind of thing.
right.
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and and that's kind of the case always. I mean, to be fair, with mods in general, even if the base game breaks the mod, there are ways around making the game still work. I know because I've done it. Whenever what was it? When Age of Sorcery came out, I ran for a month without updating Conan
Yep.
because it literally would have broken everything that I had built uh, by upgrading to Age of Sorcery. Sorry, whatever I said.
Age of
Uh,
Conan. Yeah.
Age of Conan. That's a
That
totally different game. Age of Sorcery. Yeah. So there are ways around it, but anyway, it is unfortunately it is what it is, and I don't think that it's exclusive to mods, although it can sometimes be more because there are other issues, and I'm not ignorant to the issues of mods, like mod creators leaving that kind of thing, and yeah, but yeah, I'm. It is what it is, unfortunately,
It's just it's
and it.
amusing because stuff was going really well for you, but then this hiccup, which is one of the
Yeah,
problems that I have, right? And
yeah.
it
I mean,
appeared, and I'm like,
this
so do
this
I have
is
to
this
reset
is a
things,
little
Larry?
different.
Do I got to start over?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, it does raise questions. It does raise questions, although in this particular case, it doesn't really change anything. I did, like I said, I did remove it from this one so that we didn't have to worry about how to get everything working in 30 minutes because I've been here for like before we went live, I was only here for like 30 minutes at most. So uh, yeah. Anyway,
All right,
um,
I have
let's
Pippi now,
let's
and
let's talk
everybody's
about
been
Pippi.
staring at your decorative
Oh,
crafting station for this
yeah,
time. So
I'm decorating is what I'm doing. Just it's nothing specific. Although, okay, everybody is seeing me. So while you get on, I'm going to kind of do a little bit, a real quick overview of Pippi because there's really one menu for Pippi that includes pretty much everything. Although there's little other things that happen outside of this menu, this is the major part of it. So when you go to, if you're on, um, if you're an admin to the server, you can when you go to the what is it, admin? Hold on,
I don't know,
admin
but
panel. That's what they call it. They call it admin panel.
it's not letting me in, Larry. I'm stuck at
Uh,
attempting to join your game. Oh, I
um,
think I might finally. Okay, all I had to do
okay.
was complain, and it looks like we might be
I'm like,
getting
I
in
don't
now.
know what's wrong. You should be able to get in. There's no problem. Uh, anyway, so if you go to the admin panel, which you can do it by hitting the escape key and going here. But also, what I usually end up doing is I usually hit Shift Insert because it's faster, and you get instead of normally you'd get this screen. If you can see what I'm showing,
Mm-hmm.
normally you'd get this screen when you go into the admin panel. Um, now you get this screen,
Okay.
and uh, what if you look at over the top, this is your these are
Sheet
the
panel.
different kinds of menus. Yeah, these so in tot admin everything runs down the side like this,
Mm-hmm.
down this side over here. With Pippi it runs across the top. but you have players, which players you can. There's a bunch of things you can do with players, like you can instantly refill their hunger and thirst meters. Um, you can give them XP, change their strength, and all that kind of stuff. All the same stuff that you can do in Tot admin as well. You can change their clans. You can get there is a this is Pippi player configuration. These ranks are similar to roles in Tot admin. You can silence them. You can the home position I'll get into in a little bit, um, and I'll get into this mushy editor access as well. They have uh, Pippi has its own move tool, so once you've placed something, you can pick stuff up and move it, and the clone tool as well. Um, these are all things that you can do with, and I'll get into some of the specifics a little later. But these are all things that you can do with Pippi, and the biggest, and I'll get into what home and multi home means in just a few minutes. Yeah, you can here with clans, and I didn't even show like the biggest thing is you can see all the players that are online all at once, and you can adjust them immediately. You can also here in this part you can see if there was any other players that are offline, you can see them there, and your you can also do what's called a player cleanup, which here if they have not logged on, you can see who hasn't logged on after so much time. You'll set the date there, and then it'll show you everybody that's in there, and you can clean up your server that way. If you set up people who have not logged on for a month or whatever, let's say a month, you can set that to uh, set that date to 9/11/23 and hit cleanse, and it'll clean up everybody that has not logged in since then. That's just a really simple way to do it. You'd actually there's other parameters you can set in there too. Like you can uncheck some, maybe they're gone for military leave or something like that, and you want to keep them on or something along that line. This will do the same thing as the players. It'll but for clans, you
Okay.
can actually uh, remove all the clan buildings all at once. Like, and you can do this with you can do this with Tot as well. It's just I find it a little cleaner to do here in Pippi. Pippi's way of doing it is a lot cleaner than the way that Tot does it. It's not that you can't do the same things in it. It's just sometimes it's a little easier to do it in one admin screen over the other. And I'll but and so these things aren't really different. What I've shown you so far are pretty much the same. You've got this Tot admin and Pippi both have these, and you can use them both interchangeably. Which are, if you have them both running, they both work at the same time. So there's no conflict there. In fact, I have Tot admin running on this server right now, right there.
Ta-da!
So you can run them both at the same time. Warps. Um, these are basically quick quick jumps to different points on the map, and you can set those. Tot admin has these as well. Uh, they are basically the same thing. The same thing that Tot did. Did I even mention that last time? I don't know if I did.
There's been so much you've mentioned, I wouldn't know
I
what to
don't
pull
remember if I
out.
did. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. On Tot admin, um, and on Pippi as well, you can stand over a certain place, and you can create a warp case, or I forget what it's called in Pippi. Not. I mean, sorry, what it's called in Tot, but it's very similar to it.
Wait,
Um,
we did do the teleport things.
oh, okay then. Well, no, 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 not those. Those are different.
Oh,
Those are, yeah, those are the ones that I prefer. The ones that I showed last week. Those are the ones I prefer.
the
This is
portals
for
that you can
like
open up and
yeah, yeah. I prefer those over these because These are done like through like through your chat window.
Okay.
Um, but uh, whereas the other ones are actually interact things you interact with in the game. I'd prefer them to be things that you interact with in the game. I mean, just because RP, you know. But it is helpful for admins to have access to things like this so they can jump around faster or things along that line. So, you know, it's good for admins, but it's not necessarily good for players um, in this instance. Pippi does have its own chat. I don't think I activated. I can activate it. Actually, let me activate it. Where did it go? If I disable chat, I think Pippi shows up. No, it doesn't. Okay. I apologize. It's been a second. It's been a second since I've had even messed with Pippi chat. I don't usually use Pippi chat because I'm not a real big fan of it, to be perfectly honest. I do prefer Tot chat. Pippi. That's what I was doing. Pippi. But that being said, Pippi does have chat commands. If you do use Pippi chat, you can use chat commands. And there are some other mods that interact with Pippi chat that allow you to use uh, their chat or their mod with Pippi's chat system.
Do the Pippi chat.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. It just sounds so sing-songy. Just
The fact that it's just called Pippi in the first place.
Pippi chat.
Yeah. The economy, I can get into some of how that works. Pippi has its own currency system, which is just basically bronze, silver, and gold.
I saw that on the one screen.
Yeah, you can see that. You should be able to see how much you have on your inventory screen. Yeah, right down here. And then here on your inventory screen, it'll show you how much gold and whatnot you have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine's 0. I mean, I don't even have clothes anymore.
Should be 0. It should be 0. I haven't given you any, and that's all. That is an independent currency from the game currency. So the bronze, silver, and gold for the game does not equate to bronze, silver, and gold for Pippi currency. It's a totally different thing. But you can use it because Pippi, one of the best things that Pippi has is that it has what are called thespians. They call them thespians. They're basically little NPCs that you can set down, and I'll show you how those work in a bit. NPCs that you can set down, and you can set some of them up to be vendors, and they will sell players things. Or so there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can set with this screen right here, you can set up a vendor to sell specific items. Or the other way is have players sell their items on this vendor. So basically, they give the vendor the thespian the item that they have to sell, and then they set the price for it. And then the player sets the price for it. Kits are Tot admin has this as well. Kits are basically just items that that are used either as loot. Like if you have a NPC that drops something, you can set up a kit so that it drops specific items. In fact, let me set up a kit for you. Oh wait, that's search. I need to hold on. Create kit. There we go. Sorry, I hit a whole bunch of different buttons all at one time. All right, I'm on the new player kit. Um, I can say what is in this kit by clicking Add Item, and this will show anything that is available in the game, any kind of item that is available in the game. That includes not just the vanilla items, but also anything that is an item from other mods. Like, see, I can do this. This is really cool. I'm going to make all the. Can I do this? Can I do all of them at one time? I cannot. I have to do them individually. Never mind. I'm not going to do that.
Now, will that kit just be handed out to every new player who logs into your server then?
You can create, yes, that you can create the kit so that it is available to be for all players. Oh shoot, I can't do it because we're not using Pippi. I could hold on. I'll do it. I can still do it. I'm not using Pippi chat, so but I can do it another way. And basically, it gives you a little preview of the item down here, besides the thumbnail there. And you can do the amount. These dies are weird; they don't work so well. This gives you the chance that it will show up in the kit. There's certain things that you want to own, like rare items. You only want to show up like 1% of the time, so you can set that down to 1 if you wanted to, or in this case, I want it 100. I want it to appear every single time. And I'm just adding the items to the kit. Okay. And you can see them here. Wow. Okay. They're right there. And then... Oh, then it's done. I'm done. Oh, I got to enable it. I knew there was something. And so...
I'm never going to learn all this.
I know. I don't expect anybody to know it. Like,
at the end
yeah,
of the
there's
stream,
a test
folks.
at the end of the stream, guys. You can enable the kit, enable it, and then you can say if it's hidden or not. Like if people type /kit in the Pippi chat, they can see all the kits that are available. If you hide them, if you hide that kit, you can hit. They won't see it in that list. That's really what that means. So enabled, and it's all good. And so I'm going to give it to you. And the way I do that without Pippi chat is with this thing called a loot spawner. This is probably the easiest way to do it.
Loot spawner. The loot spawner. It's literally named loot spawner?
Well, it is now.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's an item that this is only available through Pippi. It's a Pippi item. You can't see what it is right now, but if you look on my screen, you can kind of see. Gosh, I hope that's clear, because I'm not in very high resolution right now. Anyway, the new player, it says kit to spawn. New player kit. You want to force it to spawn because sometimes it doesn't. And then kit spawn interval, so you can set how often does it spawn.
You know, up at the top,
every 1 minute.
I know it says transmog, but it really looks like it says transmood to me. Transmood. Transmood.
I'm going to go ahead and hit apply to that.
All right.
And that means whenever you open that up, you should be able to see.
Now I'll see something.
Armor. Yeah, you should be able to.
All right, let's get back in game. Let's actually move to my screen for a minute. Oops. Then I gotta get back in game again. Oh, yay! Because it wasn't,
Sweet.
yeah, it wasn't there earlier. It was just a big blank thing. No inventory slots, nothing. It was just a gray blank page. And, oops. Now I have some clothes.
Yes.
Yay! Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm taking that hat off. What the heck? Yeah, no, we don't need that hat.
Anyway, so that's and then what was the last? I'm missing something. Oh, okay. Well, there's chat channels, which I'm going to use Pippi Chat, so that's not that. I mean, I don't. It's just like, I mean, really, it's pretty basic. Anything that uses chat channels, that's what it has. There's Pippi settings. These are um, a lot of it has to do with just the chat, where you can set up different announcements that happen. That whenever you first logged in, you should have seen this big rules entry kind of thing that popped up. That's set here as well. There's messages of the day, so every day that you logged in, every 24 hours that you log in, it'll have a message there, and that could be set by the admin. There's other miscellaneous stuff, like setting up a backup and yeah, all these other stuff, all these other things that are down here. The Halloween and Christmas functions are not really a thing anymore. Uh, I don't know why they're still there. Maybe some servers still use them. I don't know. Uh, you can also.
Do you think they'll do the Halloween stuff at all? Like, this screenshot I used today was, the big creepy moon from, how many years ago was that?
Oh yeah, no, these were specifically Pippi Halloween and Christmas
Oh,
things. Yeah.
But it's almost Halloween again.
Yeah, it is. It is.
If it has good Halloween stuff, I'll be more in favor of mods. Just saying.
I don't know that it does, really, to be honest. You can also it also has webhooks for Discord, so that there's a couple different things. If somebody joins, you can have it. There's a couple messages that it'll do. If somebody joins the server, it'll post. It can post a message in Discord. If somebody if in a chat like in global, I have had on certain servers global chat, like in a stream on Discord. Yeah, and the big one is when the server is online. That's a big one. If your server provider doesn't give you doesn't have something in place to already give you a webhook to send to Discord, Pippi does. So those are the big ones there. That is a brief overview of the menu that Pippi does, and the vast majority of it is done also in Tot admin. So most of the time, you don't run both at the same time. Although there are exceptions, and that comes in when it comes to NPC spawns and quests. So that is the next thing.
Yay! NPCs and quests. Now, this is a big part of having a kind of vibrant world campaigny thing, so I'm interested in this part.
Let me find it. Okay. Everything that is white here. See all these?
Mm-hmm.
Those are all
the
Pippi
T-zone
items.
What is the T-zone?
Oh, we'll get into all of what these are.
T-plate, T-sec, T-plate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Let me. I'll just run down some of the ones that we won't use, or that we won't show this time around. Um, the NPC spawner I'm not going to show this time because there is the NPC summoner that is actually better. And although some people still use the spawner, I can understand why. It's just not as robust as the summoner. Uh, Loot spawner, which we saw, that's pretty much what you saw there. Is pretty much it. You can change what it looks like. That's the only other thing I didn't show, is that you can change what the it doesn't have to look like this box. It could look like pretty much whatever you want it to look like. Any other item in game is what it could look like.
It doesn't have to look like a chest at all. It could be like a skull or a golem or...
Yes. Yes, correct.
Now that seems like a really cool thing for hiding loot in an adventure.
Yes. Yes, it is. It definitely is. You can here. I can. Well, I'll show that in a minute. That's. But yeah, it can be anything you want it to be. Any other. Sorry, any other item in game, any other build item, like any kind of decoration that you have in the game. There's a few exceptions because it doesn't read the mesh correctly. But for the most part, it could be any other item, any item in game that you can see. So, and even some that are that aren't available for. I want to say that like statues and things along that line that are not available to players to craft. It could be those as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that it could be. Um, the glorb, which hilarious as it sounds. I'm not gonna spawn the glorb, but the glorb is basically just a light source. So you
Why
can
are you
change
not going to
colors.
spawn it?
I'll spawn it. It's just there's a ton of other things to go through.
But you just said something really cool and interesting, and now you want.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to see it, I have it in my inventory now. I'll show it to you.
Good. You come to Glorb.
Portals. The portals are pretty much they work with the warps, so you can assign a portal a warp, and you can step through them, and it'll go to a specific place. So that's one way. And when I make the one shot, whatever you want to call it, that we end up doing,
Mm-hmm.
I will be using these portals, and you'll definitely see what those can do,
All right.
because there's some pretty cool things. Flaggy is.
It's with some of these names.
I
feel
know.
like we should be in Fraggle Rock or something with Glorb and Flaggy. Down
Yeah,
in Fraggle
Glorb
Rock.
and
Down
Flaggy.
in Fraggle Rock.
Flaggy is just basically a flag stand that you can put with your own texture on it. You can have it bring in your own texture. Thespian, which I will be showing you, that's the NPC thing. Egress, I'm going to show you that as well. That is a door with special properties. Camera lock, I have not gotten camera lock to work well. What camera lock does is basically creates a path for your camera, so that it's mostly used for making like Mishimina and that kind of thing. Um, with Conan, it's so that you basically set a path for the camera to go, and then it follows that path until it's done, and then it goes back to you. So, does that make sense? Did I?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Pippi Jack is blackjack. It's a game. It's a mini game that I.
I'm loving these names. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pippi Jack. It's a new cheese.
It's a yeah. It is. It's a new cheese. That's right. Wallpaper is another. It's like the flaggy thing, but instead of being a flag, it is just something you put on the wall. There's some really cool things you can do with wallpaper that I will end up doing as well in my dungeon run through that I set up. But like for instance, you can create invisible walls with wallpaper. So, or that kind of thing. But there'll be some things that I show you with wallpaper that's really really cool. Pippi note, I have literally never used a Pippi note, but I think it's just the piece of paper that has a note on it.
Kind of like Elder
box.
Scrolls that has little papers laying around that you go up and read.
Yeah, but there's other ways to do it that are so much better. So that I never use Pippi Note.
Okay.
Um, Music Box. Uh, I cannot show you what Music Box does right now. Again, that will be something that I use in my campaign. But Music
Okay.
Box, basically, you can make your own music. Like, not make your own music, but put your own music into the game. So, um, if you have MP3, it has to be MP3s. You put MP3s, you upload them to a website or to, in usually in my case, I upload it to Discord, um, and use that link that Discord has or whatever, or the website. You put it into the music box, and it will play whatever that MP3 is in the game. Cool.
Mhm.
We'll
Good.
we'll get that more into that later. Uh, the checkpoint is I don't remember how to use checkpoints. I've not ever used one, but it's a racing thing. Basically, you hit a point and it records it, and you go to the next one, and that kind of thing. Easels are not really good. they're you could they basically are they're they're an easel that you put in the game and you draw, but the way you draw on it is with the mouse, and so it's not real clean and usually really really ugly. So yeah, I don't know why he put that in there originally, but it's kind of funny. I never use them. Okay, these other guys, the NPC summoner, the T zone, T plate, T sequence or sec, uh, T platform, T time, T control, and T combiner, and T rand. I am going to show you what those do. The replaceables are just it basic. I'm not going to use. I'm not going to show you that one because I'm not real good at using it. But basically, the idea is that you can set an object and then at it with a certain command or a certain setup, you can get it to you can change it so it'll change to something else. So you can have uh, I don't know, a statue of Conan, and then uh, when something triggers, it changes to a statue of Sonya or something
Oh.
like that.
It's
Mark,
replaceable.
the laser is just that's literally what it is. It's just a beam of light.
You got to put in front of all the little cat statues, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All my cat pets
Uh,
need a laser. All right, got
got it. The marker
it.
is like marker is something you could put above a quest giver's head. It's just an exclamation point. And the cryptics is it's like it's a combination thing that you can set a combination for different items and whatnot, like to get into a chest or something along that line. I have literally never used it. I I don't so I don't know enough about it to be able to explain exactly what it does. So anyway, that that's a real fast rundown of those before I get into the specifics of some of these really really cool ones.
Okay.
Oh, I do need a door.
I got out of the doorway, so.
Where are my doors?
They have to be in wood, or. Pretty sure there's no sandstone door. Or wait, that's
There we
it,
go.
down at the bottom.
That'll work.
Okay. What's our
All
door
right.
for?
Oh, I need another door frame.
Oh.
Okay. So the first one, which is the simplest one, is going to be the egress. This is a door that
Admin rights removed? Like.
I want to stop flying. There we go.
Wait,
Oh, there's something over top me. There we go.
yeah, why did that just suddenly appear? I haven't touched my mouse or anything, but maybe because I haven't interacted or anything, it's like, are you done? Alright.
Okay, so if I go to this egress, you can see it says it's disabled, and just to show that doors work, I know how to use doors. It won't open right now, but there is a menu, which is this guy right here, that pops up, and I can name this door whatever I want to name it.
So it's just a door with a name?
That's a little more than that.
Okay. Oh, this is where you can block who can or can't?
Yes. Right now it's Larry's door.
Alright.
I'll get into more stuff here in just a second. Okay, there's a couple things you could do. Well, the first thing you can do is you can set it to a bunch of different other kinds of doors. You can make it look like any vanilla door is essentially what it is.
I like it. It has those open times, like if you have a store.
Yes.
We will allow people to come in during these times.
You can also set the duration of how long the door is open. Right, by default it's 3 seconds. You can also set a password for the door, which is the coolest part of it. You can charge people to go through the door as well. That'll be Pippi gold that it'll do. You can also do. You can also set it to where certain ranks within a guild or a clan rather can get in. You can also set it to where only certain people can get in with the certain
item.
Exactly, or if they have a certain item, they can get through that door.
Oh my goodness! The things I can think of with that. You know, oh what? You didn't find the special statue? Guess you're not going in the treasure room.
And you can set it up to where it'll tell you what that item is, or you can hide what item it is. You can also set it to where it'll remove that item if you can either set it to where they'll remove the item or if they'll allow the player to keep the item. A lot of... Hold on, it's getting dark. Let me set this to daytime. Okay. A lot of servers will set up so that not just anybody gets in. I mean, they can create a character, but they can't get in until they've put it in an application on Discord or something along that line. So they'll set a password for the door, like this.
Coco. Blame Larry for the big cat. Blame LA. I like that.
There, see? And I can get in if I want. That's egress. That is probably the least complex of the things that I'm going to show you.
Oh my gosh. That is so exciting though.
But yeah, that is very, very cool. And I like egresses a lot. I still use them when setting up dungeons most of the time. Things like along that line. It's one of the cool things you can do with an egress is you can set a trigger on an egress with another one of these, like with one of these other items that I'm going to show you. You can set up triggers so that, like for instance, if a boss dies, if you kill the boss, that's a trigger, and that you can set it to where an egress will open up on that trigger. So a boss will die, the door will open. That kind of thing. But there's other triggers as well. There's other way. I don't just use egresses like that. There's other. You can set up regular doors to do the same thing, but it's a little bit more complicated to do that. Egress is a real simple way to do that.
Okay. That's at the top of my list for favorite cool things.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is the second well, this might be the coolest thing that Pippi has. Yeah, this is probably at least the most used thing that Pippi has. It's the NPC summoner, which is a little red ball. All right, so can you see that on your screen? I know you can see it.
I'm not looking at my screen. Hold on. Oh, yep. I see.
Yeah, you can. Okay. All right. They can be set to be invisible, just so you're aware.
All right. So wait, what is that again?
This is the NPC summoner.
Oh.
And if you look at, and before I get into the configuration, I will show you in the settings that you can change the name of it.
There you go. I had to go bring your screen back up. I keep tabbing myself out of games so I can watch your screen better.
Yeah.
As I'm trying to learn, I'm watching your screen.
So, and you can set up who can access it, like who can change the settings on it.
Oh, sorry.
We don't have PvP enabled. I don't think we do. So
I don't know, but it just splurted a lot of blood across the screen.
Oh, it does that. Yeah. Yeah. Regardless.
All right.
And visibility right now it's set to everyone. I'll set that to clan members only. Now, once you've seen it, you'll see it until it like unloads. I guess you'd have to warp out and then back in order for it to actually disappear on your screen. And then edit is gonna, so you can usability. Sorry. I want it visibility. Yeah. So you can set up usability for who can use it, who can edit it, who can do different things with it. Okay.
All right.
It's really funny that I usually work whenever I'm creating an NPC summoner. I usually work kind of backwards. The first thing I do is set up the settings, and then I go to the spawn locations, then I go to configuration. So by default, spawns will come from that little red circle. By default.
Oh, okay.
However, you don't have to use the default. If I come here and say show spawns, I'm going to hit apply. And then I'm going to add a spawn location. There is a radius for it. I forget what it is. It's quite a ways actually. But I don't know, you can't see this on your screen, but you can see it on mine. There is a purple guy.
Yep.
In the middle of my screen. And I can set this guy wherever I want, but also if I hit shift and hit set, I can make more.
Wow, yeah, and I don't see that on my screen. Oh my gosh, we look like a bunch of thugs, man.
So that is where, and they're all numbered. You can actually, if you want to, in the settings, I usually don't do this because it's usually not very helpful, but you can change the color of them.
Oh wow.
You can actually even change the name if you really want to. If you want to get really specific. whatever boats your float.
All right.
Um, but that's so those are there are 6 of them here, plus the ball. Uh, so there are 7 total spawn locations right now. There is a limit on how many I can do, and I forget what it is. It's very high. The number of spawn locations that I can create. It's very, very high. I don't remember
It
how many
feels
it is
like you
though,
could
off the top of my
do
head.
an old ninja movie, you know? Have the spawn in the middle, and then have them just surrounding the house. And then when they
Yes.
come in, poof! You know? How ninjas come out of nowhere, and yeah, sorry. Totally envisioning that. Sorry, that's where my brain goes.
So this is where it starts getting complex. Um, Actually, yeah. So you can set up waves, so it doesn't all have to happen at once. Like, there's a couple of different ways that and the next wave will um, initiate, and you can actually there's several different ways that a wave can initiate. It's another kind of trigger. So you can set up other things to trigger certain waves and things along that. It gets super super complex. But basically, the idea with waves is that one right after the other is usually how it's done. You have one wave, and then once that wave dies, you got the next wave that comes out so many minutes or seconds later, however you want to set that up, and then you have another wave, and then another wave, and then another wave, and so on and so forth until they're all dead, until the entire server has been killed. I'm just kidding about that. uh,
Kill
so
them all. Party wipe! Server wipe.
that's right. So I am going to, for the moment, I'm going to hide those. So now I don't even see them. Nobody sees them.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to set up a wave. And as you can see here, I'm going to wave 1. It's already automatically done. I can add another wave to where in this drop down, it'll show different waves.
Right.
But I'm only going to have one. I'm going to have one right now. And here's the fun part.
Oh my gosh.
We get to pick what NPC spawns. What do you want to spawn?
What's Finn the Rambler?
This guy. This guy is Finn the Rambler. You can
Okay, what about Rabbit
shows you a
Millie?
preview.
That sounds fun.
That's Rabbit Millie.
Really? You do not
Yeah,
look very, you know.
No, it doesn't look very rabbit. Yeah, it doesn't look really cool. Yeah, that doesn't look really cool either.
A Cursed Cook 3. And we've rubbed the salt in because the taste makes it taste nice.
Trying to think of something that's really, really nice looking.
Hecker Wave Runner. Sounds funny.
So you can search. I'm searching by
Snarling
boss.
Monstrosity, the wolf boss. Go down. A little more.
Snarling.
Nope. Mouse up. Up. You passed it.
Oh, there it is. Okay. It's just a wolf.
So? Wild wolves?
Okay. Cool. All right, that's what we're using.
I mean, there's wild boar alphas too, or whatever, but, you know, snarling wolfie.
Okay, there is one. As of right now, I can set it to where, because the amount is set right here. The location is the default location, which is the what you call it, the egg, the red egg.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'm sorry, I'm trying to hit the button at the same time and talk, and I can't do that. So you can set up the default location or random location or in sequence. Yeah, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it'll be random. Random one of the spawn locations. It will not random to here. If you set it to random, it won't go to the egg. If you set it to default, will it go to the egg? As far as I am aware.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You can set the delay timer right now. You do every single time you set one of these up, you absolutely want to set a delay timer. If not, what will happen is soon as one dies, the next one will appear instantly. So
So it's like a training
definitely,
montage.
definitely every single time set up, even if it's like only 10-15 seconds, definitely set it up, because otherwise you will want to kill yourself, because it is I've set I so I've learned from experience. There's one time where I had to set up something really really fast, so I used this and forgot to set the delay timer. And when the people came to do that quest or whatever it was, uh, came to do that, they killed everything, and then instantly they were overrun with another group of them because I forgot to set the delay timer. So set the delay timer every single time, please. Um, I'm also going to set this to auto initiate, so that means it'll automatically start. But the wave delay is always going to that's so if I hit apply right now, it's going to count 15 seconds before it spawns something.
Okay.
And I need you to do something, otherwise you are going to be attacked. Can I set you up? I don't want you to be attacked. Can you do something on your without showing it? Well, I guess it really doesn't
Yeah,
really matter.
here we go. I just moved to my screen. You needed my screen.
No,
Right?
no. I want you on my screen because I'm going to tell you to type in something.
Okay, wait. I'm looking at your screen, but you want me to type something on your screen?
No. I want you to type something on your screen.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you the admin password is what I'm giving you.
Okay, I'm just like, what the heck? Okay.
That's the admin's password right there. So type that in. All so right. Set yourself up as admin, and then also set yourself up as yep, all cloaked. Right.
Set myself up as cloaked so that I don't,
Yeah, so you don't get attacked. All right. Let me know when you're all set.
Oops. Put the wrong password in. I used copy paste, but it used the last one. Okay. Up the admin, resume, and hold on, cloaky. Remember this
if you hit the tilde key and then type cloak, it should
just cloak.
Put it in the other bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
All set?
All set. Sorry, I was like, it came up, and then of course it brought up that Pippi menu, and I was like,
yeah.
I don't know where I'm going in here. No, don't punch.
Okay. So I'm gonna hit apply, and then 15 seconds it'll spawn. It should spawn a wolf.
Oh.
Did it apply? I think it applied. That's the thing about the delay. That you don't know if it applied or not.
Okay, I'm looking.
There it is.
Yeah, it's a big wolfie.
Yeah, and he'll start wandering, and there are other settings that I'm not really going to get into right now, but you can set how far it wanders. As of right now, it's just whatever the default is. But yeah, you can set it to stand in place if you want. Unfortunately, you cannot set it to emote. That would be the best, is if you could do something like that. But
a dancing wolf. Whoop whoop whoop.
Well, there are actually emotes for pets for wolves and whatnot, and there are certain mods and whatnot that'll allow you to do that, to allow
Disco,
your pet to come up.
disco wolf. Oh.
Unfortunately, this is not one of those mods that does that.
So when the wolves start attacking you, you start hearing in the background, "Staying alive, staying alive, ha, ha,
Exactly.
ha, are you staying alive?" Sorry.
That
right.
is the very, very basics of a NPC spawner.
Wow.
That's the very, very basics, and any NPC can be spawned on there as long as. Sorry, the cat.
The cat's all, "Can I be spawned on there? Huh? If I can't, it isn't as good as you think."
Yeah. So that's the NPC summoner. That is the and like I said, that's the very basics of it.
That's really cool. So you can make your own little mob points and making your dungeon or.
Yes. Yeah, I use this so many times and in so many different ways. There's different triggers that you can set up as well. I can show you those. I can just show you what they are. I'm not going to show you how to do it necessarily, but I can show you what they are. Like you can set an event trigger, like what happens at the start of a wave, what happens at the end of a wave, what happens when when this particular NPC is killed. You can trigger an event. And can I show you real quick what any of the events are? Like I said, you can set open up doors. That's like one of the events that you can do. Um, I can trigger. I don't know if you can see. I'm on Larry's door right now. I can trigger the door opening, the door closed.
Can you trigger the door opens if something else happens, or is it just the item? Like one door opens, the one back behind you closes.
Yeah, you can do that. You can set up multiple different triggers.
Wow.
See, I can set up I set up multiple different actions that happen on a trigger. All of these, just to give you an example. And then there's also conditions for it too, like that you can set up, like.
This reminds me of building stuff in Landmark, where you could link everything and.
Yeah, yeah,
move a
it's
book
very
in a
much like
bookshelf
that.
and a door will open and you get a secret,
Yes.
I loved all that. I loved all that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. That is what stuff you can do. Set. So you can set like level check. You can set level checks and rank checks. See if what clan they're in. All sorts of different has an item, just like you can do with the door with the door. You can set certain things. So, like it'll start. And I here this. You wanted to know what T zones were?
Yes.
T stands for trigger. So anything that has T in it.
Ah. Okay. T-pose is what's coming to my mind.
Right. So let me show you. Let me show you T-zone. All of these items are different variations of T-zones. All the T-plates, the T-sequencer, what a T-sequencer is, it's triggers that happen in a sequence. T-plate is just a button, essentially, that you can that can be triggered by either somebody stepping near it or somebody shooting an arrow at it or something along, or activating it or shooting an arrow at it or whatever, and then that triggers something else. So it's basically, these are just trigger items. T time is things that are triggered on specific. Yeah, I know, right? That's the funniest one, but it is.
Sorry.
But they are things that are triggered based on the time of day on the server.
Okay.
Like the game time. Like right now, I set the game time to be noon. I can set it to be I can set different times for different things to trigger. Um, T control is T control is if I want to it- like if I want torches to come on at a certain point. If somebody steps into a zone and I want a whole bunch of torches to light up, I can do
Oh,
that. That's what
cool.
Yeah, that's what T control does. T control does like doors, it does torches, it does different things that have activation. Like doors have you can open and shut doors. You can like open and shut gates. You can lower and raise drawbridges. Um, those kinds of things, as what the T controls will do, and and they're all triggered by something. Um, and then T combiner allows you to put couple of these, um, like maybe the T time and the T control at the same time, so that triggers will combine together. And then T random is exactly what it or T rand, which is stands for trigger random, which will basically just allow you to put in a bunch of triggers and they happen at random. But to give you an idea of what triggers are, I do think the T zone is probably the best one. As far as to actually visualize what this is all about. I don't think you'll be able to see this, but you can see it on my screen.
Yes, I can.
You
The
you can see it?
the green box. Well, I'm in admin mode
Yeah.
right now. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
a
wasn't
green
sure. So,
box with a little green, half circle in it, half sphere.
yes. It's actually a full sphere. It's just it goes underneath the ground. Just so you, but that's
Okay.
not important.
Well, I was saying what I
uh,
see. That's
yeah,
all
yeah,
I
yeah. No, it's
see.
fine. All right. Again, I'm gonna name
That
it.
wolf
You almost
just boom.
Yeah, he just keeps going. I almost always recommend naming it something other than the default name because once you start activating a bunch of triggers, it'll be nearly impossible to figure out which one's which. Just just so you're aware, always rename it. Always name it to something that will differentiate it from the other triggers. And then always override the name so that you can see it whenever you mouse over it. I think that worked. Yeah, it says Larry Zone now. Okay, cool. All right, so
So that's a
let
Larry zone.
me. Yes, Larry's door. Okay.
All right.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Basically this is just created a zone,
Mm-hmm.
a like anything inside the box acts as a trigger. So if I step inside the box, it triggers something. Right now, it triggers nothing, but it other than I've stepped inside the box. However, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it 2 by 2. Okay, it's a little bigger now. All right. So, and just to give you an idea of what you can do, I'm going to open whenever I step into the box or whenever somebody steps into the box, I'm going to make it to where that door opens.
Okay. I'm ready to step in the box.
Okay. And you can watch what I'm doing
Yep.
on my screen. then I'm also going to set it to where when you leave, it closes. All right, test it out. There we go.
Oh, but not long enough for the door to stay open.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
your
as soon
friend...
as you leave, it closes.
Yeah!
As soon as you leave, it closes.
So did you just try to punch me?
Yeah, I accidentally hit the button.
This could be a good, fun group thing where, like, someone has to stand to get a door open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can almost slip through. Yeah. Oh my god.
I mean,
that is so
yeah.
cool.
And that's just tonight. Now, if you want to get super complicated, I'll take it one more step. I'll go one more step of complication.
One more step. Oh.
Okay, this door right here,
Mm-hmm.
that's just a regular door. That's not an egress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold on. Actually, I'm going to do one more thing. Oh, wait.
Alright, so you've got a torch. And a gazing ball? I don't know what
It's a
that is.
T controller.
Oh.
That's what this is. All right, just kind of watch what I'm doing. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm setting it up so that the torch is a part of the controller.
Wolf
You
just
can
headbutted me out of the way.
Oh, nice.
He just headbutted me and shoved me. Rude. Alright. Door, controller, two controllers. I'm watching.
I just got one controller.
Well, no, we have the... Okay, you have the controller and the box section.
Yeah, the T-zone and the T controller.
Right.
Okay. So basically what I did right there is I made the door and the torch a part of this controller. That's literally all it does. Is just it says, okay, this torch and this door are things you can use. Okay, that's all that does. But you can't do it without... I just stepped inside the box. But you have to have something that triggers it. So the controller doesn't trigger anything by itself. You need to have a trigger. Well, T-zones, T-plates are triggers, for instance. So
Okay.
now I'm just going to set up another condition. Okay, so when I step in here, did it work? Sometimes we'll see. Yep, it worked.
So both doors are flipping open, and the
So when
torch
you
goes
step in
out.
yeah, the torch goes out when that door opens. You step inside the box, that door opens, and the other one closes. The torch turns on.
What if another person comes into the box with you?
So the way this works, and you can set it up to your own parameters, but it's the if somebody new pops in.
They re-trigger.
Now it's already
Oh,
yeah, it did trigger when you went in. It did trigger when you went in, but it didn't because it was already in that state. You didn't notice it. So it's whenever anybody triggers or it's whoever whenever somebody new goes into the zone. Now you can set it up. You can set up T zones so that they only activate when the last person leaves, or whenever there is a certain number of people in the zone. However you want to do it, because you can set it. You can configure it.
wow.
You can like for instance, here let me do this on conditions. You can so under conditions you can you have to target itself and then it says players inside and you can set it to however many you want. Um, but hold on. When the players inside equals zero,
Okay.
so there when players inside equals zero. Um, oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Double checking one real quick. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Players inside. Hold on. I thought there was. Now I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting how to do this now. You're supposed to be able to check when the like. Maybe it's a different trigger. Ah, I forgot how to do this now. There is a way to do it where I'd have to. I'm gonna have to experiment here. There's a way to do it. Oh, hold on. No, no, greater than. No, that's not. It's not level. It is. It's not that either. No, I totally forgot how to do it. There's a way to do it to where it'll check the number of players that are in there,
Mm-hmm.
and if that equals zero, then it'll trigger. Or if it or if you have to have two players in there for it to activate one. If there's only one in there, it won't do it. But when the second one comes in, it will. I forgot how to do that off the top of my head. It's been a while since I had to do that. But it's
That's all
yeah,
right. You'll pick it back up again, before our
yes,
big dungeon adventure.
yeah. Anyway, that is so. I mean, you can. I'm sure you can tell just the level of things that you can do, and so any of the loot spawner, the egress, the anything that begins with T, or I'm sorry, and the NPC summoner all work together as triggers. So you can set it up where um
Can you open
Let
the
me.
loot cache, like touch a skull and have a door open and the loot spawn stuff behind it? Not loot spawn. The NPCs come rushing out to attack.
Yes.
It's so cool. Sorry.
You can set it up. You can set it up to where you enter a room, and NPCs suddenly spawn. You can set. You can set it up to where when a person has a certain item, NPCs suddenly spawn when they walk into a room or something, whatever. Things along that line. It is really. I mean, you can just you can take it to so many levels because not only do they here's kind of a super complex kind of thing. You can have a loot spawner give give somebody of a certain rank a specific item, and then when they have that specific item on a certain time of day and they go into a specific room, it'll spawn a specific NPC. If somebody gets into that room without the key, it can spawn another kind of NPC.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so cool. Really, I
Yeah,
mean this stuff is really cool for creating roleplay adventures.
absolutely. It is. It is just. Uh, uh, this is these things that I'm talking about right here. These are the reasons that I keep Pippi around. It's not the admin stuff. The admin stuff is kind of whatever. You can do that. There's other things that do the admin stuff. This
Well,
stuff.
are they now since Tot's banned?
No, Tot is fine. Like all the Tot stuff is still fine except for custom.
Okay.
So Tot admin, Tot chat, all the other Tot stuff is still there, still fine, still working as intended.
Oh, here's a
It's
question. So Tot Custom, that's if you like change the look of your character inside that one, when it's taken off, does it revert?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, see, I would have some trouble with that one.
yeah. It's there now. Tot custom, although it is the best customization mod that's out there, it is not the only one. There are others um, that do the same thing, like generally speaking, can do the same thing, like up to a certain point, up to a very high point, if you will. They do the same thing as Tot Custom does. It's just that Tot Custom does it the best, is really what it is, and it doesn't require some of these other customization mods require other mods to work right so uh, so the stuff we're talking about making like fantasy characters, elves and gnomes and those kinds of things. You can still make those using other mods. You don't have to use Tot Custom to do that. Like uh, IQOL, IQ, what does it stand for? In something quality of life, international quality of life. I don't know what the I stands for. Uh, IQOL is another one that does it really well. Um, yeah, but IQOL has to be used with in conjunction with uh, what is the name of the mod now? It has to be used with other mods. I forget what it is now.
Hmm.
Anyway, yeah. Uh, this actually we have one that does clothing. It's already the we have it on the server. I just don't have it activated. Um, Let me activate it. Oh, it's not here. It's under admin. We can enable this. And forget how you get into it. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. I forget how you get into it now. R? Is it R? I forget now. It's been forever since I've used this. Because I've had taught custom for such a long time.
So the next one we were going to do.
Xmod, there it is.
How to build fantasy characters. Are we going to continue with that theme?
Oh, that is a good question.
We may need to revisit this a few days before the next.
Yeah,
one.
we'll have to revisit that.
Because that was our plan. Our plan was the fantasy characters, and then after that, Larry should be building us a little dungeon experience or something.
Yeah, if we don't do that, there is something else that I kind of want to show. I want to show I want to show some of the different building mods. There is Shadows of Skelos that has a really cool building thing that I want to show. So we'll go if we'll plan on Tot Custom coming back, and we'll do the build fantasy characters thing.
All right.
You know what? I tell you what. This is what we'll do. If Tot Custom is not back, I will show you the alternative ways of getting fantasy characters.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Okay. All right. That's it.
So that was all really pretty cool. You know? Lots of neat stuff. All those triggers. I mean, forget about the rest of the world. Just a dungeon. What you could do in building a dungeon there. Don't run over me there, Mr. Wolf. Holy cow. You're just beating me up, man. So that is it for today's version of convincing MJ that mods are great. So it started off with a bit of a negative, actually playing into MJ's reluctance of mods, but then a really strong argument with these incredible egresses and triggers and stuff. So man.
All right, so what I'll do next time, I don't want to do so. There's two things that I want to show next time.
Okay.
I want to show like a custom map, but I won't delve too far into the map itself, other than to show, look, you can do this, or this is things that are done. All right.
Okay.
So that we're not working with the vanilla map. We're not working with SIPTA. We're not working with the Exiled Lands. We'll be working with we'll be on a completely different map. Okay.
Sounds good.
Something that was made by modders, just to show this is a really cool thing. And then we'll do fantasy characters. So I'm going to show you a map that is really good for fantasy characters, and also we'll make fantasy characters.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Larry, for spending your time teaching. I mean, this really was, there's a lot there to cover, and you gave us a good little peek at that. And of course, thank you to all of you who came and were watching us today, supporting us here on OPTV, and of course, supporting MassivelyOP.com. You all are amazing, and we thank you so much. There is a link to our stream post today. You can use it for easy access to the Conan Exiles category, the stream team calendar, and MassivelyOP.com. Just click on it, and there you go. And of course, lots of stuff coming up. Keep an eye out, because we're going to be having this. I'm actually going to talk with Larry about if he has an interest in changing dates occasionally anytime. I don't know. We'll let you all know. So keep an eye on that calendar.
Okay.
And don't forget, Wednesday nights for the next 6 weeks, folks, we'll start at 9 o'clock, not 8 o'clock anymore. So
I am also putting a link in chat for Pippi. If
Awesome.
Anybody is interested in getting Pippi. So there you are.
Thanks so much, everybody. I hope you all have a safe and wonderful night, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.